High with Grandma, the third episode. Yeah. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you like our content. You can always become a Patreon member and do a monthly donation if you'd like. Please, we gotta keep Grandma high. She's in pain. Mentally, too. Yeah, and we're still figuring this out. We're having a blast doing it, and we hope you guys really enjoy it. So without further ado, how you doing, Grandma?
Hey, Grandma's doing good. Getting ready for the holidays. They're all sneaking up on us. Thanksgiving passed. How was your Thanksgiving?
Good. It didn't go as planned. We were gonna drive to the beach to see my mom, but we got hit with the snow. Was that the day before? Perfect timing. And I didn't want to turn a 3-hour drive into an 8-hour drive, so we went to a friend's house.
Damn snow.
Right?
I'm not a snow fan. I'm a native Californian. Ended up here in Bend, Oregon. God knows how.
Because you took a wrong turn, didn't you?
I did. Really, I searched up and down the coast. All I knew was I wanted out of California. So, I've lived everywhere in my life. And so I thought I'd go and look up in Oregon. I went up and down the coast, unimpressed. It was the same wet, cold that I left in San Francisco, okay? Not doing it. Went up and down I-5. Kind of crowded, just like California. So it was pouring rain as it always does. And I took a wrong turn off and came over I-20 and ended up in Sisters.
Which I like, actually.
Sisters, it's very nice, but
cute.
yes, but out of my
Price range?
Yeah, it was a little high. So I thought I'd come on home back to California and start my search again. So I came down 97 and drove through Bend and went, hey, now this is kind of nice. They even have a Macy's. Do you know what that means? If they have a Macy's, that means there's money here. Okay? Wasn't Circle K or Kmart or Macy's is good. So here I ended up. Little did I know it snowed. Had no clue, okay?
As much as it snows, too.
Well, yeah, I asked the realtor, because I kind of knew we were a little high in the mountains, so I asked him about the snow, and he said, oh yeah, snows a little, melts a little. I cursed him out before. First year we had 3 feet of snow, man. I'm going, no. My brother says, I could have told you that, Joanne. He goes, you know what my first clue was? I said, what's that? He says, everybody's got snowmobiles in their yards. And I went, oh, well, Grandma was high, okay, so I just moved on up here. And
did it ever snow in San Francisco?
No, well, once it snowed.
Once
it snowed in 1967, but it was like, the minute it hit the pavement.
It was dust.
Yeah, the minute it hit, it wasn't even dust. The minute it hit the pavement, it melted, and so, no, thank God we didn't get snow in San Francisco.
That was a big culture shock for me moving here from Portland, because all we had was rain. We'd get a quarter of an inch of snow, and Portland would shut down. Literally, like, the whole city would shut down. And it's crazy. Here, it's like 10 feet of snow, and there's big old trucks racing.
Well, it just blows my mind that I've lasted 15 years here. I just never in a million years expected me to be in snow country when I'm a sunbump. Okay, I'm a California.
You were gonna move to Belize.
Well, yeah, I was gonna move to Belize. I wish that had panned out, but little too rough, little too far. I moved from California to Phoenix, Arizona.
What'd you think of that?
It was hot. And I knew it was going to be hot, so, and I did. I liked the sun, so I moved down there and I told myself, it gets hot down here. So let's not be cheap. Let's rent a place with the pool, Well, but when it's 118 degrees out there, that freaking pool's 98 degrees. What kind of relief is that? They had no rivers, no creeks, no lakes, no trees for shade. It is desert. Okay? Too much for me.
It's flat too, isn't it?
No, they got hills.
Do they?
Yeah, they got hills, but I lived in New Orleans and I loved that. I loved the humidity. I loved the heat.
I would just love listening to people talk.
I loved the culture back there, except, when I went back, it was in the 70s, okay? And believe it or not, these people were still racist in the 70s, okay? I remember walking down the street with these people, and this guy coming towards us was a black man. He stepped off into the gutter not to interrupt our traffic, right? And I nodded hello to him. And these people I were with turned around and said, "Don't you ever do something like that around us again. You are not to acknowledge these people. You are not to say hello to these people." And I went, wow.
And when was this?
This was I was back there probably 1976. Okay, so we had already been through our
Civil rights was 60.
Sure, but and we had our race riots in San Francisco in the early 70s, but pretty much by the late 70s, I would have, at least on the West Coast, it had died down, the racism.
Or it
But
wasn't so blatant.
yeah, but back in the South, now I'm giving the people from the South some kind of credit. I don't know what it's like today, but back in the late 70s, they were still very much racist. Still.
Well, I saw a thing. There was a study they did. They ranked states by IQ, by the average IQ. The bottom half was South, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
Oregon was down there too.
Well, that doesn't surprise me about Oregon, because these people are hiding in the hills, thinking they're going to live like you, live off the grid and live in the mountains where there's no civilization.
Yeah,
Anyway, so I got one more move in my life to make. I got one more move, and it's been on my bucket list, and I want to go to Mexico.
but you haven't visited yet where you were thinking about living.
No, not yet, but I've explored a lot of Mexico. I checked out Lake Chapala, Cancun, and I love the problem is I love the east coast of Mexico because it's more lush, it's more green, it's
Jungly.
it's more jungly, but it's so far. It's so far that if you ever had to come back to see a doctor or the east, I'm not from the east coast. It's very close to go from the east coast of Mexico to the east coast of the United States, but I'm a west coast kind of girl, okay? So if I ever had to return for any kind of family emergency, the east coast is just too expensive and too far because of the distance.
What's the little sliver called? Is that Baja?
Baja California.
You should live there, and then you can hitch a ride with the Merchant Marine.
Well, they are no more
I
Merchant
know.
Marine.
I know.
Damn it. But anyway, yeah, that's my next stop. I'm going in April and gonna check out Baja. It's never been on my list because I am aware that it's desert. I have been there.
I always think of that big race they have. There's a big race in the Baja Desert for like days and days. Like people from all over the world come and they just drive for days, nonstop, 24 hours.
What are they driving?
Like dune
Quads,
buggies and
quads,
special,
yeah.
you know what I mean, desert rigs. But it's a big deal. I never understand.
I don't know anything about it, but I guess if you're gonna live in the desert, you better find a way to enjoy it.
Yes.
Okay, you want to talk about enjoyment. When I first moved up here, I thought, yeah, don't let me Bogart, Scott. You better say something.
I can't get too
Well,
high.
I can get Bogart. But anyway, when I first moved up here, I hated the snow. I knew I hated the snow, but I was gonna learn to deal with it. Okay, so I thought, well, maybe if you buy yourself a toy, something to do in the snow, you might enjoy it more. So I went down to look at these snowmobiles.
That's so funny.
I was shocked. I stood there looking at this machine, and the salesman goes, can I help you? Is there a problem here? I says, yeah, there's a problem. I says, this damn thing is bigger than a motorcycle. He goes, well, yeah. I says, well, that's just not going to work for me. I'm going to end up in a snowbank and I won't be able to even pull the thing out. It's so big. He goes, but honey, you're not supposed to land in a snowbank. I said, I'm sure you're not, but I bet I would. And so no snowmobile for me.
See, I could picture you totally buying a quad and then getting a little plow thing for the front, and because you got a big driveway.
I thought about that, but with my bum hip,
Mm.
I found that that quad is wider than my hips want to spread.
How did that work the last time you went to Mexico when you rode them horses, though? Did that mess with your hip?
No, because I know how to ride and I stand on my toes, and that way your hips and your butt's not taking the impact, okay? But on a quad, you've got to sit in order to do those handles, and you know what? Be honest, I watch people plow their driveways with these quads, and they just shove the snow, and they're just shoving it, and then you got this big roll of snow that's half full of
A
dirt.
berm that takes till July to melt.
Yeah. So with the snow blower, it makes a nice clean cut, and it makes a nice clean driveway, and I enjoy that.
I think that's because we both like blowing snow. For some reason, I think it's because you can make it look clean.
That's the only reason I like it. It's certainly not the labor,
Yeah.
And I was very surprised that I shoveled that driveway because I couldn't get the snowblower to start. Well,
Oh, when you texted me the other day, right?
yeah, well, I guess shoveling was better than nothing, but I'm still not sure I can grip that handle with my hand.
Oh, to hold it to make the auger go? My hand used to it would like cramp up from holding it too long. I've noticed that the older I get, if I stay in the same position too long, I hurt. I have to move a little bit.
Well, welcome to old
Yeah.
age. And he's young enough to be my son, okay, and he wants to complain about old age. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, just wait, your due is coming.
I don't know. My dad's 80 years old. He's in great shape.
What does he do for a living?
He worked for Weyerhaeuser for a lot of years. He was almost vice president, but then he was drunk, and so he screwed that all up. He got sober, and then he worked for Lionabed. Before they had the spraying bed liners, the shells.
I remember those, yeah.
On Columbia Boulevard in Portland, I remember a little kid going down there, and they had this big warehouse, and they were stacked inside of each other. And I used to go chase rats in the warehouse.
Well, I'm going to go back to drinking, only because I do hope our program is
You want to start drinking?
No. I've been sober for damn near 25 years. I'm not going to start that again. But because I hope our program is not only entertaining, but a little educational too. Maybe I'm high, maybe I'm not. But I'll tell you what, I would rather see people smoke pot any day rather than drink. And it's just, here in Oregon, I've never seen anything like it. They've got freaking beer pub tabs in the freaking grocery store.
Oh, the growlers. When I saw those, I'm like, how's that legal? That's an open container. You take in a jug, they fill it up with beer, and then you just cap it off?
Well, I think anything that has to do with beer is okay here in Oregon. I've never seen anything like it.
In Central Oregon, we have internationally award-winning beer because of the water. We have amazing water.
Well, I hate beer. I had my drinking days. I had 10 years of drinking days, and that was enough. But beer was something I could never drink. First of all, I drink one beer and I have to pee 10. Okay,
It's
so
like
how
coffee.
are you ever going to get a buzz like this? Okay, you just can't. Not if you're running to the bathroom every 2 minutes. So, number one. Number two, people just get weird behind alcohol.
And when I used to drink and drive in my early 20s, I wouldn't drive far or anything, but that's when I thought I was Mario Andretti.
Do you know everybody? Yeah, alcohol does that. I
When
mean,
I'm stoned, I have to make sure I go fast enough. You do too. I've been with you.
oh yes, I'm a little old grandma, and I get on that highway and I go the speed limit, and people don't like it. But
No, sometimes when you're high, you go under the speed limit.
well, that's a good possibility, but better under than one time drinking. It never failed. Every time I drank, I wanted to get in my car and drive. So one night, I was at my boyfriend's bar, and I gave him my car keys, and I told him I had full intentions of getting smashed tonight. So I says, "What? No matter what I say or do, please do not give me my car keys back, okay?" Well, the night goes on, and I'm getting drunker and drunker and drunker, and the next thing you know, I'm asking him for, "Give me my keys. Give me my keys." He's going, "No, you can't have your keys. You don't need to be driving, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna drive. Don't tell me what to do, blah, blah, blah."
I can totally see you doing that.
I motherfucked him up and down and sideways until he finally went, "I can't take it anymore. Here, go kill yourself." Well, I left the bar at 2 a.m. and I'm driving home, and the boyfriend I was with at the time was a non-smoker. He didn't smoke cigarettes or pot. So I thought I was in front of the house. I put my truck in park. I shut the engine off, and I sat there smoking a joint. Well, the next thing I know, there's a rap at my window. And I roll down the window, and it's two police officers.
Yeah.
And he says to me, "How'd you like to go for a ride?" I'm drunk. I'm going, "Yeah, sure, let's go. I'll have a good time, right?" Get in the police car. They pulled my truck to the sidewalk, arrest me for drunk driving and possession of pot. Well, I wake up the next morning, and I've got this public defender who goes to court with me, and he tells the judge, "Your Honor," he says, "it's right here in the report. I was at a four-way stop sign. I put my truck in park, and I shut the engine off thinking I was in front of my house."
That's drunk.
Yes.
That's really drunk.
That was very drunk. That's when I decided to go sober. But anyway, needless to say, he says to the judge, "How could she be drunk driving when it states right here the truck was in park and the engine was shut off? Therefore, she was not drunk driving, she was in and about." And the judge,
Nothing?
He
Dismissed?
just gave me a ticket for in and about. And,
What is that?
And
Never heard of that.
in and about an automobile under the influence. So
It's not a DUI.
it's not a DUI because you were not driving. So for instance, if you were parked on the sidewalk and decided to start drinking, okay, in the car, you are in and about an automobile with alcohol. You were not driving. So it's a misdemeanor.
I think they changed that though.
Well, I'm sure they have. This is a long, that was a long time ago. I've
The
been
legal drinking age was 16. No, I'm just kidding.
thanks to them, I went sober for 25 years. I said, that's ridiculous. If you think you're in front of your house at a stop sign, there's something wrong, okay?
Did you ever black out?
Oh, all the time. I started blacking out all the time, and that's why I quit drinking,
That would be scary.
One time I woke up and I was feeling pretty good, and I said to myself, "This is what happens when you go home at a decent hour and get some proper rest." So I walked down to Mission Street where I used to bartend, and I walked in the Pastime Bar, and everybody's going, "Wow, I'm surprised to see you here today." I said, "Why?" "You should have seen yourself last night. You were a partying fool." I'm going, "That can't be. I went home last night early. You must be talking about the night before. I went home early and went to bed last night." They're going, "The hell you did." So I thought they were just off the wall. And walked down the street to Alex's bar, and I went in there, and everybody's doing the same thing. Oh my God, I can't
What did you
believe.
do?
I got drunk and obviously blacked out to the point where I did not even remember being out drinking the night before. Okay, and that's when I said it's time to stop. Okay,
For real?
it was crazy. Yeah,
Did
for
your
real.
kidneys ever hurt in the morning?
No,
Yeah.
no.
I had a buddy growing up. By the time he was 16, he was so far gone, he shook at 16.
Well, you know what? These people are crazy. I remember the guys, and mind you, in my drinking days, the guys who hung out in the bar and stuff were
You told me. Those
Yeah.
fucking clothes.
not a problem. Uh, they were of an older generation, and I would come in the next day hungover with a hangover, and they'd tell me, "Oh, just have have another one. Just have what was it? Have a hair of the dog that bit you or something." And I'm going, what the? So my whole thing with everything, drugs, alcohol, life, everything. The magic word is moderation. Okay, my God, if you went out and partied and you're hungover, fine and dandy, suffer with it, okay, because that's what you deserve. But to get up and because you don't feel well, have another drink, that's insanity. And I think that's what leads people to being hardcore alcoholics.
And there's different kinds of alcoholics. According to my dad, because he was a weekend drinker, but I guess he was really bad. He got sober when I was 3. Everybody thought I was going to be the alcoholic. I don't drink that much.
Yeah, they say it's hereditary, but I've also heard that it skips generations. Now, my parents,
I have the addictive gene.
I think it's all in your head. It's all in your head. If you want to be addicted, you're addicted. But my parents, neither one of my parents drank. And I swear to God, I wish they did. They were so dysfunctional, so out of hand and fighting and arguing and stuff. I used to tell my friends at school, I wish my parents did drink because that would be an answer for their dysfunction. Okay, but no, they were sober wackos. Okay, so,
My parents were too. And I think maybe that's why we partied.
Well, like anything else, I don't care what everybody's thing is. I said to myself, I was going to experience everything as much as I possibly can in life. And,
You're doing a good job.
I used to tell my dad, my poor dad, he was a career city mechanic for the city of San Francisco.
Like
Okay.
utility trucks, stuff like that.
Yeah, he repaired all their vehicles, fire trucks, supervisors' trucks, whatever. So, of course, I would sit there and say, and I meant every word of it. I said, anybody who would do the same old job, doing the same old thing for 20 years is just flat out boring. Okay? Not only boring, but what a waste of life. So my attitude was I was going to go through life and experience as much as I could in any direction. I don't care. Like I said before, you can make all the laws you want to make and you can make all the rules you want to make, and I'm going to do what I want to do. Okay? So,
And you'll deal with the consequences.
well, if I have to.
If you have to,
But
yeah.
if I
But
can,
that's how it should be.
if I can get out of it, I will.
That's what freedom is. We should be able to do what we want. We just have to deal with the consequences.
Mm, yeah. There goes those stoners again.
Yeah.
Young grandma's having a rough day today.
What's up?
Oh, I know what's up. The holidays. Thanksgiving.
How was yours?
It was okay. I went to my friend Mitzi's house. She had a very nice feed, her daughters and everybody was there. So it's very nice to be included. But I like one time when I first moved here. My neighbor came over, Glenn, and he comes in the house, and I had hors d'oeuvres on the table and snicky snackies, and I was drinking wine at 11 o'clock in the afternoon, and he says to me, "Oh, I'm sorry." He says, "I see you're expecting guests."
Wow.
I says, "No, no." I says, "This is just for me." I says, "What, just 'cause I'm alone, I don't get a Thanksgiving?"
That's what everything you just said, minus the drinking wine at 11 with my family, like, that's what the holidays were. I remember veggie platters sitting in the dining room,
Yeah,
and you
you
just
got
munched on those all
You
day.
snicky snacky while the meal is cooking. So anyway, I enjoy cooking. I like to think I'm a cook. So
What are you doing for Christmas?
yeah, oh, I don't do Christmas.
Because you're an atheist. No, I'm just kidding. Why?
Well, because
yeah.
for that very reason, I think it's very hypocritical. It would be,
Jesus wasn't even born.
when I had the children, I had Ollie and Jesse, and they were little kids. Yes, do Christmas because that's for the kids, and that's what it's all about. But as a single, independent adult, I say to myself, why should I be decorating the house and celebrating Christmas with who? First of all. Secondly, I don't believe in this gift giving, sending gift cards to people.
You pointed that out to me, and I didn't realize that.
I think it's appalling. I mean, there was a day when Christmas was all about putting in some thought to who the person was that you're giving a gift to. And you shopped around for the special thing that would trip their trigger and make them happy. And nowadays,
you go into 7-Eleven, they have those last minute gifts.
Well, they've always had that.
Yeah.
That's for the men who don't know how to shop. But sorry, but it's usually men who hate to shop. And but no. But now, today, it's these gift cards. And so everybody's giving each other a gift card. Oh, for Christ's sake, keep your damn money in your pocket and call it good. So no, I find it very hypocritical. I won't go into the religion aspect because I think everybody is free to.
It's not even about it anymore.
Well, no, it never has. It's always been the commercial thing, My mother, funny thing, my mother, when we were children, she would drag out the catalogs.
I loved them.
And she told me, I did too. She told us you had to make a wish list. And on this wish list, you had to put, first of all, you had to put what catalog you found it in, what the item is.
What catalogs did you have?
Oh, we had Macy's, we had, not Macy's.
I was like, we had JCPenney and Sears.
We had Penny's, Sears, and Montgomery Ward's was a big one.
Monkey Ward's.
Yeah, Monkey Ward's. That was a good one.
That's where I went school clothes shopping all the time when I was a kid.
So anyway, you had to put the item, the page number, and how much it cost. But it took me years to realize that my mother was not looking at your wish list. My mother was going to buy you what was on sale. Doesn't matter, for years and years and years, she gave me dolls. And I'd go, Mother, I don't want these damn dolls. I don't even want it. We had so many real babies around the house. What the hell do I want to play with a doll for? Right?
For real.
So one year, I still got the damn dolls. One year, they came out with this talking Bugs Bunny. Okay, and you pulled the cord and Bugs Bunny would talk. So I told her, how about a Bugs Bunny doll? I said, that's kind of like a doll. Because I knew she was dead set on buying me dolls. So I thought...
She wanted you to be girly.
I thought this would be a nice compromise. No, they were probably just on sale. So anyway, I come Christmas morning, I get this box and it's just the perfect size. I know it's my talking Bugs Bunny, right? And I was so happy, and I opened this box up, and it was Chatty Cathy.
The worst one.
This Chatty Cat, I want to be your friend. I was so mad, Scott. I never was so mad in my life. I took that doll and I opened the front door and I threw it out in the middle of the street, which happened to be a busy street, by the way. You know, so
Would you say that's your most memorable Christmas?
yeah. Yeah, I
Sounds
never
like it.
did Christmas after that. I told my mother that. No, I never made. I was so mad. She says, "You go get that doll, or you could spend the rest of Christmas Day in your room." I said, "Fine." To my room I went. No, I was done with that. You know, I'm not playing your little game of making a Christmas list and this and that and this and that. When I did realize by then.
Brain's getting blown up.
Yeah, I know. Can we take a break?
Yeah, we'll be right back. That could be our thing.
Sorry about the breakdown. But anyway, Christmas Day, from that day forward, I decided I'm not playing this game. I'm not playing this game of saving my money to buy everybody what they want and not getting whatever's on sale. It was just food. And then, of course, I matured and realized, first of all, that, you know, Christmas Day is supposed to be the birth of Jesus Christ.
He was born in the spring or summer.
Well, and I just don't believe so. And the only thing that makes Christmas exciting now is that you have a child. You know, that's what I'm saying. Christmas is for the children, okay? And by God, let's let them enjoy it.
It brought back the fun of it. So yeah, what do you say? Should we wrap it up, Grandma?
Oh, yeah, Grandma's having a rough day.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting a little pot, y'all, so send your donations.
Yeah, we gotta keep Grandma high.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Otherwise, she could be pretty miserable.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. As always, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to donate, you know how to do that. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.